This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on point and Anna Knox. Here's Wilson, and on the right circle, he scores!
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And the hat trick tonight, number 21,
Spectacular! Braden Holtby!
Hello and welcome once again to the Power Play Point podcast. This is your host, the Blue Liner on Point, talking to you live to tape from my snowy, icy digs in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And if you're anywhere in the DMV, you're dealing with the white stuff. I guarantee it. I know because I'm sore from digging out from about 5, 6, 7 inches. I lost count. I don't even know. Much sympathy for you if you're wherever you're at and you dealt with it, most likely southeast, eastern seaboard, wherever you're at. DMV, like I said, you're dealing with it, and hopefully you're keeping warm and safe. And we're going to be talking Caps hockey. Hopefully, take your mind off it. It was a crazy kind of week, but we got a few good things that happened. So we're going to get right into it. This week, I am fortunate enough to have a very special guest coming on with us to talk about the games, talk about the Caps. So I'm going to give a little bit away here live from the Catoctin Mountains. I hope I said that right. With Cool Oldies, WTHU 1450. Here he is, live and in color. Well, not really, but he is live. The one and only Timinator Tim Robinson. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I'm actually coming to you from Sterling, Virginia. Because they weren't going to have me go all the way out to Thrumont this week to do my show. So get to do it from home. But yeah, I'm excited to join it. Yeah, I'm excited to join and excited to talk some hockey.
All right. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Okay. So this being your first time on the show, I'm going to give you the old talk show treatment here. So you being a DJ, I got to ask. So right off the bat, coming to my mind, what's your favorite song? Favorite song to listen to or play?
That is the hardest question for a DJ because I have multiple songs. I worked for WFRE country radio as well. I interned with 98.7 WMZQ when I was in school. So nice. I like the country, little country roads, oldies. I love me, I'm going to go little shout out for Ovi. I love me a little bit of shake, rattle, and roll. So that's always a classic one.
All right. Nice. Okay. Very cool. So got to ask, so how is it that you came to be a Caps fan? How did you get started getting into all that?
I think I was actually born with a Caps jersey on in 1982. I've been a Caps fan. I think my dad took me to my first game when I was like 5 or 6. So that's when I started skating too. So I grew up in the DMV. My first favorite player was Dino Ciccarelli.
Man.
Yeah. And then we went on to, then I graduated to Peter Bondra, Ally Brady. Like, those were my boys growing up in, like, the 90s. And obviously love my Ovi. And, I grew up in love with the game. My parents grew up in Philadelphia. So, obviously my dad got into it up there, growing up with, like, the Flyers or winning their cups in the 70s. And but he's actually a Caps fan now, which is good. So.
Yeah. All right. On the good side. All right. Glad to hear it. Glad the family's on the right team.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Last question. Well, we pretty much gave it away already. And you kind of gave us a little bit of a history. So I always like to ask, what you do for the almighty paycheck? Of course, you're at THU. So how long you been there?
I have been there actually since last August, and that's one of my day jobs. I also DJ for a company called Live Mix Entertainment on the side, like mobile DJ and host karaoke. And
Nice.
I am also a certified medical assistant by day as well. So man of many hats.
All right, sounds great. Okay, so how long have you had the side gig?
I've had the side gig for the regular DJ, and I've had mobile DJ, and I've done since 2015.
Very cool, very cool. I always wanted to get into that. People tell me I got a face for radio with a voice to match, or something like that. Is the joke. All right, good deal, good deal. All right, great to know you. Great to have you on, Tim. So 4 games played since last we left you, and one of them was kind of a weird one in the middle of a Monday. It was MLK Day, the 19th. Start of this long road trip Caps have been on. Let's start with that one. Started out okay, but number 1 team in the league, you knew probably wasn't going to end well. So let's run through the scoring summary real quick. So Parker Kelly for the Avs starts it off, 5:54, tips it in off a Cale Makar pass. Alex Barre-Boulet with the other assist on that one. And then about a minute and a half later, Jacob Chikrin with his 18th on the power play. Strome and Ethan Frank, the helpers on that one, draws them even. You figure, okay, they got a chance here. And then Nathan McKinnon doing Nathan McKinnon things. He's running away with the scoring title on the power play. Natchez and Olofsson, the helpers there at 7:03 of the second. And then Olofsson gets his own, his 9th. Manson and Nelson, the helpers there, 15:58. Ethan Frank answers less than 20 seconds later with his 11th. Ovi and Nick Dowd, the helpers on that one. So you figure, all right, they're battling, they're fighting. Maybe we got a chance here, at least keep up, maybe push it to overtime. And no, that's when late in the third was when the wheels fell off. I think maybe the altitude, a little fatigue, little jet lag kind of got to him here. Lehkonen, his 16th, McKinnon, the helper at 12:32. And McKinnon again gets another one. Marty Natchez, the helper on that one, about 4 minutes later at 16:30. And they were running away with it. Shots on goal total. Well, that tells the tale right there. 44 for the Avalanche, 24 for the good guys. You like to see them muster more than that, but it just wasn't happening. They fought as hard as they could. Good start, like I said, 12 in the first period, but
they kind of tailed off in the end there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. They tailed off at the end. 3 shots on goal for the third, and you could tell, like I said, fatigue, maybe jet lag, the altitude really, really, really got to them. What else did you see this game? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I saw that game, and like you said, they started off really well. And I thought Ethan Frank had a great game. He had a golden assist in that game too. And I just, I felt like you got to shoot. You're not going to score unless you shoot, and
right.
I don't care if you shoot from behind the net, just shoot at this point, you're not going to score unless you shoot, get the shots, get as many shots. I don't care if they come from the bench, just shoot and maybe it'll go in. You don't know, but I'd rather shoot from everywhere and then have like 12 shots in one game. That's not going to help your scoring.
No. Sometimes I would love to see them just, like you said, just take it from anywhere. Just run with it, do something, go to the net, and it just seems like lately they've been a little hesitant to do that, or at least, earlier this week they were. Speaking of which, let's go over there and hop to easily the worst game of the week for them, man. So, all right, they hop over to the left coast, play the Vancouver Canucks. At the time, the worst team in the league, absolute worst.
11 straight losses it was.
11 straight losses going into this game. They've traded away a lot of their big stars. They've waved the white flag on the season. You never want to say you're going to walk in with an easy win, but if this game was supposed to be it, and it sure did look like it to start. Dylan Strome, Cap's got a power play. Dylan Strome lands his 12th on the power play, and if I'm not mistaken, it turned into a 5-on-3. If I'm not mistaken. So this was the first of the two that they ended up getting with that extended power play. So Strome with Wilson and John Carlson, Tom Wilson and John Carlson, the helpers at 8:25 to open the scoring. And then the same power play, now it's 5-on-4. Justin Sordiff working more magic. His 10th in front of a bunch of friends and family, also on the power play. Strome and Ovi, the helpers on that one. Caps run away with a 2-0 lead halfway through the first. And then, not long after that, for some reason, the wheels came off. Boy, did they come off. I don't know, like one of those 1980s Yugo cars. Good God.
Yeah.
What the hell happened here? Brock Besser, 13:32. Kampf, the helper in that one. Almost exactly 5 minutes later, Evander Kane, his 9th. Jake DeBrusque, the helper on that. And the Caps go into the intermission tied. And then it really fell off. 9 minutes into the second, Drew O'Connor, his 12th. Kampf and Besser, the helpers on that one. So now the Caps are behind. And 2.5 minutes later, at 11:43, Hronek, his 4th, DeBrusque and Vilander, and now it's 4-2. And if ever there was a big WTF moment, here it was.
Yes, it was.
I mean, what were you thinking at this point, Tim?
Can I go to bed now? Is it this game is late? No, I was flabbergasted like the rest of us were. Like, I started out going the game going, all right, they're on a losing streak. Let's kick them while they're down. Let's keep this going. And they started out great, like you said, and they lost their mojo. Like, I was looking at the stats, and when John Carlson and Bolivier are leading your team in shots on goal, both with 4 for that game, you need other guys to shoot. Like, everybody else seems to have more shots. Like Tom Wilson, only 1 shot in that game. Like Chikrin, only 2 shots. Like, Ovi only had 2 shots. I feel like I want to get like Ovi shooting more, like more guys like that shooting a lot more.
Yeah, your best goal scorers really need to get in on the action more. And I don't know what happened, but definitely took their foot off the gas after that first period because it just died. I don't know what happened, but everything just fell off really bad. So Caps are in sort of desperation mode, I guess. They got 32 shots this game, but I don't know. It just didn't look like there's that phrase, the sense of urgency didn't really look like they had it until really late into the third period. So I want to say I think it was about 5 minutes left, they ended up pulling Logan Thompson. And then they started getting into desperation mode. So Strome gets his 2nd of the game, his 13th. Sordiff and John Carlson, another helper, 16:37. Okay, so you're hoping they rally, but too little, too late, like they say. And I mean, this one hurt. This one really hurt. I would have thought at a bare minimum they would come away with the loser point. And man, to get out of this with just absolutely nothing and just crap the bed against the worst team in the league. It hurts. And I hate to say the words, but I'd never been more ashamed of this team than after this game.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing. Definitely, that night was definitely a disappointing night.
Oh, and by the way, if you stayed up and saw all 60 minutes of this
God bless you.
Fart in the wind abomination. Yeah, God bless you for doing it. Because you didn't have to, and but if you did, God bless you. Because yeah, you saw one of the worst games they played easily this year. But I don't want to say they didn't try. Like I said, 32 shots on goal. They were trying, but like you said, Tim, not all the right guys were firing. They weren't firing on all cylinders. I don't know what happened. Just classic foot off the gas here. It just
Classic, like lackadaisical. Yep, that's what I like to use. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It just they thought they had it won, but they say the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous for a reason, and here was why.
Sometimes if you're the Cavs, it's the 3-goal lead too.
Yeah, another classic example, and you just can't. It goes to show, and it's still the best league in the world. You can't slow up no matter what, no matter when the game is. But they did, and it was it was just real hard to see, and they knew it at the end. But I don't know, not a good way to start the road trip. So on to Friday. And dear God, we were hoping for something better. And thank goodness, though, we got it in this game. Although for the opposite, it wasn't a great start. So they jumped to Calgary to play the Flames. So again, this was Friday, the 23rd. So they go over to Calgary at the old Saddle Dome to play the Flames. And first goal is from Morgan Frost on the power play. Zeri, the helper, at 6:09. So Caps are falling behind. Another sleepy, flat opening for the Caps that we talked about last week that they've been prone to. 16-8 shots on goal for the Flames. That's right. You heard me right. 16-8. So got doubled up on shots. In the opening period, and I got to admit, we were kind of like, a lot of us are probably kind of like,
here we go again. Yeah.
It took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, exactly. And then then the unthinkable
went off.
The absolute unthinkable happens, and to say this goal gave the team a shot in the arm. Man, truer words. Hendrix Lapierre. Yeah, do not adjust your listening device. I say again, Hendrix Lapierre scores a goal, his first of the year, 6:33. It was real. John Carlson and Marty Faravari, the helpers on that one, 6:33 in the second. And
you believe in miracles? Yes.
Truer words. Yeah, this gave the team, it was like a shot of vitamin B1. Mm-hmm. This galvanized the team. John Carlson jumped in his arms like they'd won the Stanley Cup. Probably the biggest feel-good moment of the year, easily, other than Justin Sordoff's hat trick earlier. I would put this up there with the feel-good moment of the year. And yeah, much needed goal for him personally and for the team. And they flipped the switch. From that moment on, they were a whole other team. It was a joy to watch. So they were outshot 16-8 in the first period. Here's the shot totals for the second period. 17 for the red, white, and blue. 4 for Calgary.
Yeah, it was a dominant. It was a dominant second period. Absolutely.
They not only blitzed Calgary going forward, they shut them down at the other end. And you wanted to say, well, where's this team been all year? But better late than never. They finally showed up. So that was Lapierre was the only goal in the second. So on to the third. So Protas gets his 17th. He's had an up and down kind of week. He gets his 17th. Tom Wilson, another helper, is 22nd. Great to see him back. Justin Sordiff, the other helper, his 12th at 7:35 of the third. This would be the game winner. And then Alex Ovechkin gets the Pizza McNugget combo, empty netter in the magical McNugget minute. 1907. Strome and Marty Faravari, the helpers there. Game over. It's iced. And this was to say this was a much needed win. Too easy.
It's an understatement. Yeah. Absolutely. And Friday night, the biggest thing Friday night was again the guys who were shooting. Like Alex Ovechkin had 6 shots on goal on Friday night, which is great. Like the guys you want to shoot were shooting on Friday night. And I thought also Friday night, I thought Marty Faravari, I thought he had a really good game.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was great. I thought Matt Roy was great in a defensive effort. So let's see. So let's run over those shot totals individually. Ryan Leonard got 5 shots on goal. Pretty good output from him. Strome 4, Protas 3, and like you said, the guys who you want going to the net did. LaPierre got 9.5 minutes ice time. That's probably the most he's had all year. So that was good to see. But I mean, obviously the thing you loved most was this was a whole other team. It was like, they've been playing like, somebody had died, this whole road trip up to that point.
Yep.
And they did a complete 180 as soon as Hendricks put that goal in. And it was awesome to see. I just loved it. All right. So now on to last night's game and the last of this week. And of course, that was against the Edmonton Oilers. And wow, this one was stacked against our Caps. Let's see. So back end of a back-to-back. You're playing Connor McJesus. And not just him. So now you got Herr Goldmeister, Leon Draisaitl, coming back from his absence in Germany to take care of a family business, a member who was sick. So he's back for his first game. So now you got both of them, and you're gassed from the back-to-back. And so I kind of wondered how they'd come out, and they didn't come out flat, but wow, this was kind of a crazy game. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was definitely back and forth and everything. And like, I don't feel like the guys, again, the shooting, like they needed more shots from your better players. Like I thought, like I wanted to see more shots of Ovi again, like we did on Friday night. I wanted to see more shots from Tom Wilson as well. And like guys like that didn't shoot, but I thought, like, again, Justin Shorthoff had a great game. Connor McMichael had a great game, which was good. So, I wanted them to take the momentum that they had from Friday night and carry it in. But playing the Oilers the second half of a back-to-back is definitely tough.
Yeah. Good on the Caps, though. I don't think if they were tired, they didn't really show it until much, much late in the game. It was a back and forth shootout. Not the shootout after 60 minutes. No, I'm talking about goals galore in this one. 11 total. Let's go ahead and run them down real quick. So Evan Bouchard, his 12th for the Oilers, 19-12. A bit of a slow start to this game. I don't think the Caps got a shot off until way late in the period, if I remember right.
It was almost like a minute left in the period or something like close to like 2 minutes left or something like that. Yeah.
More on that in a second here. Ekholm and Zach Hyman, the helpers on that one, 19-12. And then 22 seconds later, this was like the first or the second shot they got. Protas, his 18th. Sandin and Wilson. Rasmus Sandin and Wilson, the helpers on that one. Sandin, another guy, had an up and down week. I thought it was pretty bad in the Vancouver game. He was great in this game right up until he got hurt. So just to review, he on the same play, he blocked a shot, and he took another shot down low, and he's officially listed now with a lower body injury. And last I saw, I think he was day to day, but I think it might be a little bit longer now that I think about it. So he's probably going to miss the next game easily. He tried to come out after going down the tunnel and just couldn't put too much weight on his leg. So about halfway through the game, he was done. But I thought he was pretty good in this game. Too bad he had to leave early, but I thought he was much better this game. And of course, this goal again by Protus in the magical McNugget minute. So if you had a way to get to a McDonald's in your area, you on the other side of the speakers, the earbuds, what have you, in the DMV, God bless you, because if you use the app, you got yourself some McNuggets. But touch and go with the weather and all that. But well, if you got some, good on you. On to the second period. Bouchard again, his second of the game, 13th of the year. Draisaitl and McDavid hooked up for the helpers at 4:13. 2.5 minutes later, sort of answers his 11th. LaPierre, the primary helper, and McMichael, the pickpocket who starts the play. 6:50 on this one. 2-2 tie. Beauvillier gives the Caps the lead about 8 minutes later. He hits double digits, his 10th. Carlson, the helper, and Ethan Frank starting the play on this one. On to the third period. Bouchard gets the hat trick, 14th. McDavid and Draisaitl again. Stop me if you heard that before. 4:30, third period. We're tied again. Pardon me. Strome, Caps get a power play. Strome puts it away, his 14th on the power play. Chychrun and Wilson, the helpers of that one. 6:40, Caps take the lead again. Okay, so yeah, this was the big story of the game. Caps had a lot of resiliency, but this was yet another game where, as I like to say, this is what happens when you feed your cat X-Lax. What happens? They can't stay out of the box. And when you do that against pretty much one of the top power plays in the league, this is what you get. And they got one here. McDavid, that's 31st on the power play. Bouchard and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the helper on that one. So that one makes it a 4-4 tie. And then 7 minutes later, Connor McMichael puts them up at 15:09. Carlson and Sortif, the helpers, were thinking, okay, we're going to run away, sneak away with the 2 points. After he batted it in, no. Oilers pull the goalie with about 3 minutes left, and Zach Hyman beats Wilson to the net and puts it away for the tip in. McDavid, another helper, and Bouchard, another helper for another point at 19:28. So on to overtime we go. Doesn't even take a minute. 47 seconds in, Connor McDavid puts it away. Bouchard and Draisaitl, yeah, they just couldn't. At this point, they were pretty much gassed. They were out of it.
Yeah, especially being a defenseman now with Sandino, the
exactly.
dude was gassed. So yeah,
they were pretty much out of gas. So two key stats here. Only 2 shots in the first period, but ramped it up 13 and 12 in the second and third. Of course, didn't much have anything in overtime, so nothing there. And as I did mention, okay, so all right, let's count here. All the penalties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penalties. So they gave the highest powered offense in the league. I want to make sure, was it 6 power plays?
Yeah.
No, 5. 5
power plays, yeah.
5 power plays. And to their credit, they only let in 1, but still, that takes a toll. You got to roll out your PK unit that many times.
Yeah, it takes a toll on the PK unit, those guys, and you're playing with fire, giving a team like that so many power plays.
Yeah, you are. Oh my God. But I give them credit. I'm optimistic after this game actually because they kept up. They could have just packed it in. You got the built-in excuse, second half of a back-to-back. They were clearly tired at the end, but I tell you what I did like. I like the responses after they give up a goal. It was, it wasn't, they weren't packing it in. They were staying with it. They were, they were firing it. They were going at the net. They were shooting when they had to. That first period, not so much, but they woke up when they had to. And even the power play, their own power play, got 1 out of 5. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, they ended up only getting the loser point when you hope for the win, but you know what? I'll take it. After earlier in the week, I will definitely take it.
Yeah, the last 2 games, definitely.
Yeah, I feel a lot better about this team than I did earlier in the week. That's for damn sure. Our sponsorship partner this year, which is Empowering Education. And if you've been listening all this year, of course, you know, or should know by now, but we'll go over the history again. They began as a Kentucky-based nonprofit, bringing financial literacy and career development to the next generation. That is the goal. It was founded in 2021 by Audie Wood in a small Western office in Western Kentucky University, and was offered initially as an alternative to delinquent juveniles, as an alternative to jail time. And they found that 91% of the students that took this course did so well that they managed to avoid incarceration. So, as we've said, it is a great alternative for students to not be a drag on the system, but work with the system. These are students, again, that were turned towards trades opportunities or continuing education because they learned how to work with the system in asking for financial aid, budgeting, and including the mental health aspects of financial literacy and management. So if you're interested, contact myself or Audie Wood, and I'll go ahead and put my personal email out there if you want more information. It's glhallowed@yahoo.com, or visit empowering-education.org on the web to find out more about them. And you can also enroll your high school age student in our upcoming 8-week course that is operating out of Baltimore City and the rest of the DMV eventually. So if you're interested in that, take a gander at our website. Once again, that's empowering-education.org. And as we say, empower your child, empower their future. Okay, so that was the week that was. So now we're going to hop into previews of coming attractions for next week. Okay, so Caps get a nice 2-day break counting today, and then they continue the road trip Tuesday, the 27th at 10 in Seattle to face the Kraken. So yet another late night game. And again, if you manage to stay up through it, God bless you. If you missed last night's game, then you missed a pretty good one, even with the loss. But try to catch this one. I think the Caps have a good chance. Seattle's kind of an up-and-down team, even though they'll be facing an old friend, probably. Philip Grubauer is probably going to get the start in net for Seattle. So that'll be interesting. And then the 29th, the 29th, Thursday, they played Detroit at Little Caesars Arena. It's making me hungry just think about it.
Which Detroit is, they're at the top of the Atlantic right now. They are rolling.
Yeah, good eye, Tim. Yes, they are. 32-16-5 is their record, 69 points. As Tim said, good for first place in the Atlantic. So they've passed Tampa, who was on a tear recently. I think, what was it? They won like 10 straight or something.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so if they're good enough to pass them for the Atlantic lead, that's going to be pretty tough out. So that'll be another interesting game. So that's Thursday night, 7:30, and then to round out the week, last of the month, back home at Cap One, 5:00 start on Saturday. Not quite a matinee, but 5:00 puck drop Saturday night at Cap One against the Carolina Hurricanes. That's going to be interesting. Always play them tough, so that'll be great. And the next week it will be the last before the Olympic break. Not going to go over those games, but next week there's 3 games, and so we'll cover them on the show that we'll record February the 8th, Sunday, February the 8th. And then we're going to go on our own little break because there won't be any Caps games for the next 2 weeks to cover. So that's what we're looking at there. Okay, so what'd you think overall this week, Tim? What'd you think of what you saw?
So I agree. It didn't start out like you wanted to. Like, you're like, okay, maybe maybe we could beat the Canucks, and we getting those letdowns. But they ended the week on really positive notes. Like, you get 3 out of 4 points against the Flames and the Oilers, which is good. Hopefully you can build on that coming into this week against the Kraken and against the Red Wings and against the Kraken, Red Wings, and Hurricanes. So got to build a momentum, got to build the shots, and I'm looking forward to this week. I think we're going to see a better team this upcoming week.
Yeah, I think that the Seattle game will probably be fairly even. They got a good shot at winning that. The Detroit game, I'm not as optimistic. They're pretty fast. They always play us tough. It'll be the end of the road trip. I think the Caps will be thinking of home at that point. Not that they'll let down, but I think it'll be another issue where they're pretty gassed and wanting to go home. That Carolina game will probably be the best of the week because they always come out with some fire against them. So that's the one I'm waiting for.
Absolutely.
Saturday. So that ought to be a pretty good one. So while I got you, what do you think of the Olympics and how that's playing out? Haven't really gone into that. We're not really. I got to admit, I'll be watching, but I'm not really big on that. I'll be watching Team Canada, of course, since they got Logan and Tom on there. But what do you think of all that this year with the NHLers coming back to it?
I love it. Like, I love the playing for your country and everything like that. I recently had Rob McClanahan from the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team on my show last week. So talking to him about what that team went through was like, it gets you fired up for the Olympics and, to see them fighting for their countries and wanting to play for their countries. So I think it's going to be good. And one of the questions I asked Rob was like, if there was a clear-cut favorite. And he's like, it's hard because the teams only have a few weeks to come together as a team. So he said probably the team that's going to win is the team with the best goaltending. So I think it's going to be between U.S. and Canada, like it always is. So I think whoever comes out with the goaltending on that is going to be your gold medal winner.
Interesting. A good guy to get some perspective on it. Of course, he was part of the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. I wanted to catch that interview. Didn't get to because I had an issue with my computer at work. So couldn't get on. I think you got an archive at the website. So I hope to catch it there if you've got it.
Yeah, it's up on my Timinator blog, up on our website.
Awesome. Okay. Well, all right. So that's all the action on ice. So since we got you, Tim, is there anything, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anything? Any plugs you want to make? Time's yours. Floor's yours.
Yeah. Let me just give a plug out to first of all the listeners. This is great. Listeners make the shows, as you know.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all of our snowplow drivers and the first responders out there helping us all, keeping those roads safe. And once again, if you don't have to go out, don't do that. But yeah, I'm on Monday through Friday on Cool Oldies 1450 WTHU. You can hear it online at WTHUradio.com.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Tim, this was absolutely kick-ass fun to have you on.
Oh, it was a blast.
Thanks so much for coming on. Hope to have you on later on. Whenever.
Let's do it.
And yeah, so yeah, definitely. So check Tim out at WTHU.com, or just do a Google search on Cool Oldies WTHU 1450. They're on air all the time. And Tim, you do the late morning drive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and from 9 a.m. to noon.
Yep, and that if you're in the biz, that means that's the hours that Tim just said. So if you're in the business, that's what the late morning drive means. So that shows you how much I know about radio. That's why I pretend to be an expert on a podcast. So anyway. All right. So yeah, really fast-paced show here. Hopefully it caps matches here in the next coming week. So good to have you on again, Tim. So for the Timinator, this is the Blue Liner on Point, signing off and reminding you that, well, I bought an expensive car only to find the reverse gear is broken. So you know what that means. There's no going back now. Hallelujah, and let's go Caps.
This has been another episode of the Power Play Point Podcast. All episodes are available from Apple Podcasts, the Podbean app, BlueLiner77.podbean.com, and now available from Stitcher. Music by Joe McAllister, voiceover by Jeffrey Conkle.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Power Play Point Podcast. Thanks for listening.
All right, so spoiler alert. I have the advantage. I got Tim on video and just looking at his facial expression. It is worth it.
That's awesome.
So